controversial cheeky freak of the week, where Carl finds a human being with some sort of congenital or imposed deformity, or so and we talk about that in a wry way. Do you think that's big and clever?
No, but that's just it. It's never about taking the mickey out of someone, right? It's to make you think.
I'll tell you what isn't big and clever.
How lucky you are.
A dwarf with learning difficulties.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
we'll explain it to you. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. He Wants You.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, Carl, off you go.
Well, we're not going to do Freak of the Week here,
okay?
Right? Because we've done quite a bit of that in the last 20 minutes.
We've
right?
OD'd on freaks, you think?
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll just shift it a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't, like I keep saying, don't want people to be thinking we're sort of taking the mick out of anyone.
No.
Right? Because we're not about that. I feel like I can do a little bit of it because I work with you, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
It gives me that right.
It's like a care worker. Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's like that thing of you can't be homophobic because I've got a couple of gay mates and stuff.
Sure.
I think it sort of gives me that edge.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're not freakophobic because you work with Steve?
No, that's right, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay,
well, by that token, I should be able to sort of slag off, the mentally ill.
Or
at least mentally handicapped.
Now, there's a term you don't hear very often. In 2003, there was the
mentally handicapped. Isn't that what it was?
I don't know where to start.
But
I'd like to apologise for the Lady Diana stuff, the term mentally handicapped, and any inadvertent racism that we may have stumbled over.
What's the actual term then? Is it retarded?
Right, are we having Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Do you want to do it?
What time have you got to shoot off?
Could do with shooting off sort of soonish.
Okay.
To be honest.
This is not radio. Have you ever heard that on a radio show? Chris Tarrant going, I can't shoot off right now. I couldn't get a later train.
I know! Why did you get a later train? There isn't a later train. So I couldn't get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well that's the point, isn't it? Yeah, you're not falling through.
Whatever, I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now.
Oh, cheeky Freak of the Week.
Right, well, we've had some interesting things we've been looking at. This week, it's about the strangest couple that ever got married.
and we've had 2 sets of chimps, so it's stranger than that. Oh, it's not Dale Winton and Nell McAndrew,
It's not your parents, is it?
Well, we're going back again to about, I think this is about 19...
something like that.
1940.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
Strangest couple, a fella, right? He had skin of a lizard.
He had the skin of a lizard, okay.
And the woman who he married...
he used as a condom.
The woman who he married, airiest woman ever.
Right.
And that was their act. They used to tour the world, and they'd say, it's like, couple who've met, they're having a great life. Let's get them out on stage, here they are. And they'd
what do you mean he had a skin of a lizard, first of all?
That's what it said, he had some sort of, some illness.
So he was called Lizard Man, and you like that because it was good description.
I thought that's good.
I'm here. Hello. We've booked a table for 2. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting Lizard Man. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah.
You know he is, right?
Yeah.
I'm meeting the hairiest woman in the world. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they do for their act?
Now bear in mind that we had some Siamese twins last week, and their act was having a bath.
yeah.
So I hope it's an improvement on that.
What did Lizard Man? He came out and ate some flies, did he?
I don't really know. I just think they stood there on that.
Yeah, when you read this and it goes the most interesting fact ever, Lizard Man, and you go, that's enough. That's enough. I can extrapolate from that.
But straight away I start thinking. I'm thinking, right. I wonder if they got the wedding photos. Right? And then, like it said that they had a kid.
Oh, what would that be like? Half lizard, half it'd be like an ostrich, wouldn't it? It would sort of like.
That's what I was thinking.
What did you think it would come out like, the baby?
I didn't think what that looked like. I just was thinking, oh, parents' evening. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't want them coming up to the school, would you?
So,
Well, that's
so
the
little
problem.
Johnny, who starts off relatively normal, he's quite good at, he's good at nature,
Yeah.
isn't he? And his mum and dad come into the room and they'd be looking round, wouldn't they?
Well, it's always like that thing at school when, like, you find out your mate's mum and dad are really old.
Right,
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
When you go, your gran and granddad bought you?
Yeah.
It's my mum and dad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
It is weird.
What's that we're talking about? He calls him mum. What was that? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
no,
like,
that's always strange.
I
But
just,
if you had Godzilla and King Kong as your parents,
Yeah.
and it was
And they're
like you
always
say,
fighting.
they're always fighting, and like you say, you're in a school play or something, you wouldn't tell them, would you? You wouldn't want them coming up with a video camera.
He didn't tell his parents he was in the... When we were,
Well, exactly.
You did Little Donkey and you didn't tell your dad, did you? And he came along and videoed it.
yeah.
Was
kept
that-
it quiet, don't want them to know anything.
But you didn't... What was it was meant to be playing? You had a little drum, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing, I had a little drum. I think I was meant to be playing We Three Kings.
Yeah.
But, he started doing Little Donkey and I thought, I can add a touch to this.
Sure, you improvised.
Started playing along
It was like the
with
first
yeah.
remix, wasn't it?
It went down well. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with, the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are. That, they don't have to...
Comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean, Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are?
Just...
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Pop in, give us a call. That's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, like, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping, we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
Buy a comb.
Park right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
I just think it's a shambles. I've asked for Cheeky Freak of the Week, and it appears that Carl's not ready. He's not prepared.
No, I can sort of remember it. It's just that I like to have all the information.
Contempt for
But
the
you just
listener.
you just had a whole bunch of adverts and placebo in order to get you ready.
We're chatting, we're having a chat and that.
Right, do you want to sort yourself out in future?
Yeah. Someone this is what we were chatting about. Someone emailed in about they watched the £200 tumour thing, and when it was removed, it was carried away in a wheelbarrow. Right? Carl said, "What? Even when she had it removed, she still carried it round in a wheelbarrow." And he went, "I thought it's sort of like she'd become attached to it." You definitely are my favourite thing in the world. It's great. Look at the way he's looking back.
But I think they're all the same. The people. I mean, I have had more emails about people saying I watched the £200 tumour
and I shaved me arse
than anything else.
I know.
When we ask questions
we come
about
up with
science,
science, we talk, yeah.
Nothing,
Right
silence.
concept, we talk about political issues.
One person emailed in, they said, I tuned into the £200 tumour documentary. It looked disgusting, I couldn't watch for long. What were you expecting?
Yeah.
That it might sing and dance? Do a little show for you?
Oh,
Anyway, so what's the
these are
situa-
really your listeners, Carl, now. I think you know what I mean? You sort of, you find your niche, you attract your... I think me and Steve are pretty much just here.
I think the people that we had in the early days, Rick, they've long since abandoned us. They jumped ship.
They've got jobs.
Yeah.
They've got jobs. They're out now. They've been released.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're getting their life back together.
Carl,
Come
so
on then,
what's the
Carl.
situation with Cheeky Freak?
I've got like a couple of bits. Like I say, I haven't got the in-depth stuff that I know.
Oh no, because usually it's it's
Heavily
pretty
researched.
scientific. Exactly, yeah. Do the jingle. We've come up with a new one, haven't we?
The Freak! Say chic.
Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Right. Well, couple of bits. I don't know which one to use as the main feature for this week.
It's that good, is it?
Well, there's been another one born.
What?
Little kid.
You go on.
4 eyes.
Insult? Just a guy who wears glasses. Come on.
4 eyes, 2 noses, 2 mouths. That's weird. Isn't it?
This bloke, did he also have 2 heads, 2 bodies? Sort of born sort of slightly separately?
He wasn't stood next to a mirror.
No, it's weird, that, isn't it?
That's all you've got, is it?
I love that. That's weird. That. Imagine the doctor said that. Well, Mrs. Parks, kid's got 4 eyes and 2 noses. Weird, isn't it? Any clues? Any clues?
So well, that's it.
That's
That's all the
one.
information.
Well, I'll tell you what,
No,
that,
but
that
again-
should be the main one. Okay,
No,
I've answered
but
it.
like I say, what's the idea of this feature? What do I say all the time?
Don't know.
I always say, think about it. Think about what that would be like.
Okay.
What? Giving birth to him?
No. Being, I think it's a girl. Being like her. 2 mouths. 4 eyes. What would that be like? Mad, innit?
I don't know what this feature is.
I don't know what do I. Is there another one? Is that you said?
I mean, I
two?
hope everyone took the opportunity there during that silence to just think about what it would be like. I know I was.
Could she talk with a mouthful?
What?
Is that allowed?
Because she's got 2 mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be alright in her house?
She'd be eating.
Yeah,
one,
she could talk with one mouth and eat with the other. I
Right, well
suppose.
listen, the main one, right, you've thought about that, that's good. The main cheeky freak of the week, I haven't got all the details. Smallest person ever. Right? How big would you say that is?
Carl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right? The odd thing was,
But why have you asked me? How did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you
Oh,
didn't.
for
Of course you didn't.
Jesus!
I just saw it and thought, oh, that's
What?
that's
You
that done, that's
straight away
sorted.
assumed it was natural size.
No, it's that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella, like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was, because it said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line, I always read the first line, it said world's
Well
smallest
done.
man.
Well done.
The weird thing is, he got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
Oh God!
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Don't know. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh
Yeah.
at his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that, but he was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple.
What is this? In what world do you
No,
inhabit?
this was on the internet. And I printed it
Leaning
off.
on an apple. Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't that some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you sorry? Can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple there. Do me a favour. You stand next to my chihuahua. You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all. No. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so he just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man, said about his head being like a light bulb, I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do, that's that sorted, cheeky freak of the week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right? I found that, I thought that's done. Printed it off, forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play a record.
You got to.
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say,
there's no
no, Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if
point.
I say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say things
in
like
this
on
charade.
radio, hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
This is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But, imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going, some news, some stuff, how big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play a record.
I'm angry. I'm actually angry.
What could you, if I said, right, quick, you've got to come up with top 5 things, what would it be?
I mean, I'm into weird stuff, but it seems a bit tight to stick them in a list.
What, like what?
Well, like, sort of freaky people and that. I've got that freak book. But I don't know if they'd be happy if I called one of them up and said, good news, you're at number 1, because you've got 4 legs or whatever. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, then, this is the exclusive Ricky Gervais guide to Shortlist magazine, Karl Pilkington Top 5 Freaks, in at number 5.
So you've got to work backwards, haven't you? I've got to know what my number 1 is.
I think you
say
do work
number 5.
backwards.
Probably something not too good at number 5, but it's still interesting. Lighthouse Man.
Who's that?
Lighthouse Man?
What's Lighthouse Man?
It's a fella with a hole in his head. And he, what he does, rather than moan about it, sticks a candle in it.
Shut up. What are you talking about?
Sticks a candle
What are
in
you
it.
talking about? Where is the hole?
I bet he didn't call himself Lighthouse Man, did he?
Well, I don't know. It's just what he got nicknamed because he had this hole. Doctors were like, "There's nothing we can do. Can't fill it." So what can I do with it? And it was of the days when there was no electric and that. You had to walk about with a candle.
Right.
So hang on a minute.
I can have both
Got a
hands
little
for
candle
you.
holder here. Stuck a candle in it. And he just got nicknamed the Lighthouse Man. So again, it's not that amazing, but I like the way he was sort of energy efficient.
Didn't he have, like, wax dripping on his head?
No, because it all went into the hole. So in
What?
a way, it was filled in. By
What
the
do you
end of
mean?
the
It
day-
wasn't a hole, though. It was a dip, surely.
No, a big hole.
Yeah, but not a hole through the skull with the wax dripping on the brain.
No, just a really big hole in his head, but it had skin.
Like a golf hole.
Yeah, I suppose a golf hole's a good way of looking at
Perfect
it.
for a candle, basically. And
Yeah.
then the drippage went
Went
into
the hole.
Yeah.
Candle sort of stood up straight.
Yeah,
So was it in his forehead?
No, on the very top of his head.
that's perfect. You don't want it in the forehead, Steve. You'd have to walk back with
That'd
your
be
neck
ridiculous.
cricked.
So he was like a kind of human jack-o'-lantern.
Well, he's a lighthouse man. What is it, Steve? What
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I
better
forgot
description
about
do you
that.
need than the lighthouse man?
So yeah, he's probably at number 5.
Wow, that's at number 5, Steve.
Number 4.
What about pig-faced woman of Manchester Square?
Again, you're getting what it says in the tin there, aren't you?
Now, pig-faced woman of Manchester Square, is that someone you knew growing up?
No, it's a square in London,
Yeah.
Right.
and it's just this woman who had a face like a pig, and the rumour was
Yeah.
that it wasn't a woman. Someone said it was a pet bear and they'd shaved it. That's what
Oh, God!
that's what
Was
I've
this
heard.
someone? Was this someone you saw? Or
No,
that you
no,
just read
this
about?
is going back.
This is years ago.
This is years and years ago.
Yeah.
When there was loads of like weird looking people. I mean, the fact that it's pig-faced woman of Manchester Square
Yeah.
says that there might have been one in
Piccadilly Circus.
yeah, whatever. So there was a lot more of them knocking about back then.
Let's assume that it was a woman, and the first one, the lighthouse fellow, he's a human. Do you think people would object because of their disfigurement, deformity, like being called freaks? Do you think?
Well, it gave them a purpose back then. See, if you were a freak years ago, there was work for you. You'd have these circus things. Now, if you've got a funny head, you're on the dole. They don't do these
Or
side
working
shows.
with Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant on the world's #1 audiobook. Great. Number 3?
What about Elephant Man?
Right.
Stick him at number 3. He's
Number 3.
He's surely the most famous freak ever to have lived, isn't he?
he's the one who got me into it.
Right. Yeah, sure. He's a sort of entry-level freak.
Yeah.
A gateway freak.
Everyone is aware of him.
If the Elephant Man still existed, right, and you got the opportunity to meet him, and you walked in, a couple of questions. 1, what would your first reaction be? And 2, what would you say to him? What would your first question be?
How would I react? Well, I've sort of seen him enough now that it wouldn't shock me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even think I'd flinch.
Okay.
I mean, like I said when I first saw you, that was a bit weird. But now look, I can look at you. I don't double take or anything. What would I say to him though? What? I'd probably say, where do you get that hat to fit you? You always had that on. Where do you get that from?
That sort of flat cap that he's got.
Yeah, that one, didn't he? So,
Very stylish.
so yeah, I'd have him. So he's at number 3.
Right. Elephant Man number 3. I can't wait for
Blimey,
2 and
yeah.
1. Right. Okay. Number
Well, I
2.
know what my number 1 is. It's just number 2 now. I don't know his name, but there's a fella knocking about. Well, I don't think he's around anymore. But he had like a normal body. Looking at him, you'd go, "What's up with him? He's not a freak." Takes his undies off. He's got 2 knobs.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, there's nowhere to start. Do you
I
think
don't know.
he uses them alternately, like either way out of this one, either way out of that one, or does he just like spread the load so he's weeing out of both?
I don't think he knows.
What
I
do you
think
mean
it's
he doesn't
sort of
know?
like a lucky dip. When he goes to a urinal,
Yeah.
he can have a little bet with himself. He's just like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
So do you reckon he holds them
Holds
both
them
out?
both, definitely.
So he takes his trousers down because I mean, you know.
Yeah, he can't use a Y front.
Right.
It'd be,
Need more like a W front.
Yeah. So he pops his cakes down there.
I don't think it's that much of a problem. It's not like.
Well, I don't know.
I'd prefer that than Elephant Man's head.
Well, of course you would.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What if you had Elephant Man's knob?
Yeah, but it didn't work like that, did it? That's the thing. They said he had the body of an elephant, but that's the only thing that wasn't of an elephant standard. His knob was normal. Whereas with this fella, it's the other way round. Everything normal, take the pants off. Oh, well, what's going on here?
But why would you ever take his pants off?
No, well, I wouldn't. I'm just saying if...
But why? I don't know why you'd be in a situation with this man with two knobs standing there with his pants on and you go pop your pants off. You're not a doctor.
No, I say if I'm waiting in a cubicle and he's there.
For what?
Sorry, you're waiting in the cubicle and he comes in?
I'm waiting to have a wee at a cubicle. He's
Oh, in the
taking two
toilet.
urinals up and going, hang on, you don't need them both, do you? He goes, well, actually,
Oh, and then
have a look at this.
Right.
He's got two knobs.
See, I didn't see him at two urinals. I saw him at one, maybe them pointing inwards.
If you had that, and say the first time that you met Suzanne, would you mention that straight up?
Would you say, right, before this goes any further, I've got something to show you?
Well, let's tell me exactly what you would say. All right, Carl, I can't wait to go back to your place.
Oh, maybe we should end up sort of like boyfriend and girlfriend and live together for the rest of our lives. You had normal head then, didn't you?
I had the same head, yeah.
Yeah, but it had, like, hair coming out of it, didn't it? And sort of like...
Yeah, but she also had a smaller arse back then as well, so I think we've both been dumb.
If you want to hear more of this kind of intellectual discussion, then download our audios. Anyway, we need to get to number one.
Yeah, number one.
Okay, it is.
It's Pillow Man.
Oh, yeah.
Pillow Man. Okay, now explain for those that don't know who he was.
He's a fella with no arms and legs, just a head and a little body. Nickname Pillow Man. What else do you need to know?
Well, why is he your favourite?
Just because he's amazing. Just the way he just got on with his life. He used to light a cig, just using his lips and his tongue and that.
Oh, I've
And
seen
not
this.
not fully lit. He'd buy Roll Your Own.
Yeah, it's in the film Freaks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he
He had a
rolls
shave
it.
as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How did he
Do you
have a
think
shave?
he used to do it? He used to get it in his mouth, and I don't know.
Jesus.
It's amazing. Did he have a knob?
I think he did because he had some kids.
What?
Yeah, he had kids. He was an all right looking fella. He wasn't odd looking. It's just
Sorry?
that he had no, his head. He looked like Samuel L. Jackson. Imagine him with no arms and legs.
Right. That's odd, though, isn't it? Really?
It's weird, but you've got to give it to him. You know, I mean, he's there rolling his own. He's pretty cool looking.
I just want to say to people, it's not. You say it looks cool, to, with no arms and no legs to smoke, but don't forget that smoking can stunt your growth.
Yeah, but yeah. Remember, he was on like this circus freak show thing with like a bearded woman,
Yeah.
right? Which isn't really a freak, is it? She shouldn't have a shave. Have a shave, you're not a freak anymore.
Yeah.
A bearded woman compared to a fella who's got no arms and legs. A bearded woman, get out. But there was like a fella with no bottom half to his body, called Johnny Eck was his name. So when you're knocking about with that crowd, you're gonna get a bit. You're gonna get a bit. So yeah, he had kids and they were all normal kids. They had all the limbs.
Did his
and
wife
everything.
had arms and legs?
Never saw his wife.
Never saw his wife.
I think
He was probably ashamed of her. She was a bit of a freak.
for someone like him, you'd think he'd just give up, wouldn't you? You think, forget it. What sort of life is it?
Yeah.
I'm like a Mexican jumping bean. It's not worth living. But he just got on with it. I mean, to have a shave, I don't even bother having a shave some days.
No. Nor did the bearded lady. Lazy fucking bitch.
So that's why I've put him at my number one position. It's just amazing, isn't it? The human, how whatever you dealt, some people just get on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Pillow Man, or Draft Excluder, as I prefer to call him.
There you go.
I never go to the doctors unless it's really
That is
bad.
sensible. That is very good advice.
No.
That's brilliant advice
Well,
for
it is,
anyone
though.
listening. Never go to the doctors.
Unless it's really bad.
But that's why a lot of people, die because they don't want to bother the doctor, or they're mildly embarrassed, or they don't know symptoms, bad symptoms. Go to the doctor if you're not sure about something. Like you were terrified to go and have your prostate.
Still not doing it.
Why not?
I wish you wouldn't talk about it, because now Suzanne will listen to this and she'll go, oh yeah, you haven't been, and start dragging it up again.
But why are you worried about a little a qualified doctor?
I don't know what they're doing up there.
What they
What
just
year are
pop
we in?
they. What are you talking about? They pop their finger up.
That's what I mean, though.
Why?
Why are they still using the index finger?
What, would you prefer the forefinger or the thumb, would you?
No, what I mean is, we've got...
Or a thumb on a stick, some kind of thumb on a stick.
Yeah, would you prefer it to
a
be...
mechanical thumb, a robot thumb.
Why isn't it just a little camera?
Well, they put the camera up if they initially discover something.
But just put the camera up straight away. If I'm
No,
paying
they
for
don't
the
need
visit.
to. They pop the finger up, feel that the prostate isn't swollen, wiggle it around a little bit up your back passage. What are you worried about?
I don't think they need to do
Are
that.
you embarrassed?
In
Are
this day
you
and age.
embarrassed about being in a room with your trousers around your ankles and little fellow popping
A
his...
little bit, yeah.
Why?
And the other thing is, it's not just that, is it? So you go in there, they check your heart out and that, which to me is the most important thing, because that's what keeps you going, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to go there. You
Yeah.
sat on the bus, stressing out, thinking, oh, in less than half an hour I'm going to have a finger up the arse, right?
What is the problem?
And they go in, they check your heart, they probably check your testicles and that.
What's up with that? They take your testicles, yeah? That's
Yeah, but it's all building, and you've sat there going, oh, soon that'll be happening.
Yeah.
And that's what puts me off.
So if they just came round when you were asleep, Suzanne just let them in and goes, he's over there, right?
Yeah.
And they crept up and went, bang. You go, what are you
prefer
doing?
that?
I just don't understand why they don't teach you how to do it yourself.
How can they?
Wow.
How can they teach? Imagine you squatting in a corner with one hand on your bollocks and the other finger up the arse going, it seems to be alright.
Carl, you don't understand the phrase "a stitch in time saves nine." I don't think you should be doing any kind of invasive medical research in your own human body.
But then
Who knows what trouble you're going to cause?
No, but then at least
You would get stuck.
Yeah.
You would get stuck.
Suzanne would come out, your fist would be up your own arse. Woke up at 9:55 a.m. Soon as I woke up, I looked at Suzanne and she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about..."
I just think of him opening his eyes and looking at him.
Okay, alright. Okay, so he opens his eyes, he looks at Suzanne, she looks at him. What question, Rick, do you think he immediately asks his girlfriend?
Go on.
What question do you think? Have a quick guess.
Am I dreaming?
I woke up, I said to my girlfriend, "Did I tell you about..." I woke up, I looked at Suzanne, she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about the immune system?" Did I tell you about the immune system? Suzanne started laughing. I said, "It's amazing." She said, "Not now." Springing into action, he zips up, his eyes are like... Did I tell you about the immune system? Oh, shut up, Carl. Put the kettle on.
Oh, God! Oh, fucking hell! More, revelation. We were talking about it last week, but Carl brought it up again, just now. Didn't want to go to the doctors, didn't want to have a full sort of body checkup that may save his life, because he saw on the website they do a test where they have to insert a finger in his arse.
Well, don't tell me about it.
Why?
Don't put it on the website. Just put, we look at your heart.
Yeah.
We check your blood pressure out.
Yeah.
And then they could just do it quickly. Could just sort of say, right.
How can they do it quickly?
No, but what I'm saying is, it's worse, isn't it? Going in there, knowing that, I mean, they've got it on the website. So you're on the journey on the bus thinking, in about 20 minutes I'm going to have a finger up my arm.
But they're doctors.
Yeah, but just
They're not doing it for a laugh. They're not filming it with a two-way screen. They're not putting on boxing gloves so it hurts more. They're up. Oh, it's prostate, all right. Out again. Out again.
I'm just saying, in the day, the sort of...
Do you think they're in the pub going, here he comes? It's Pilkington, I had my finger up his arse today.
Do they allow ladies to do that? Do they allow female doctors to do it?
Of course they do. They're doctors.
That's worse.
You're sounding like him.
No, I'm just interested in, because, you know, do they allow female doctors to do the finger up the arse thing?
Well, of course they do. They're doctors. Forget the female and male. They are doctors.
Right, do you know any female doctors to do that? But what I mean is, isn't it a bit like if you're being searched at an airport, you know, and you're a woman, they send in a woman person to search you. They don't send in a bloke to do it. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, they probably trust someone who's gone through 6 years medical college not to be taking the piss as opposed to a fat security guard who couldn't get anything else. Do you know what I
What are
mean?
you talking about? There's doctors all the time coming out in the papers, oh, they gave them this so they could look at their boobs or whatever, or, you know, it's all right, you're always hearing stuff about dodgy doctors.
But what I'm saying is, the reason why they do that security, because there's lots of security people, and they can, you know, for your own, you know, for the, you know, your own modesty. There's a female one to search females and a male one to search males, and that's fine. But there's not like 4 or 5 GPs to choose from, and you go in there and you go, is it your arse and testicles? Do you want a bloke or you accept it.
Long fingernails.
They don't have long fingers. What do you think of this female GP looks like? She's sitting behind the desk like Cruella de Vil with cleavage and long red false nails going, "Hello love, bend over. This may hurt a little bit." There's gloves and Vaseline. I don't believe there's 2 of you now in the room. Carl, they're doctors. They have to, what would you rather do than put the hand down your throat and round your alimentary canal to feel your arse? It's a quicker way in.
You seem to know a lot about these doctors who stick fingers up people's asses. You're a very well-informed gentleman about this sort of thing.
Well, say if they did find something,
Yeah.
would you then have to get, like, a second opinion, so someone else's finger?
Well, no. They test it to see if there's anything suspicious. That it's usually a swollen prostate, which can be anything. So they catch it early, and that's it. They feel up there.
But if you want a second opinion, then the same doctor will just stick a thumb up and have a feel around then. So it always works in the same way.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a doctor who can, I don't know, put me at ease. I mean, surely there's another way around it. I don't believe that. I mean, what is this? 60 million people or something in the world, isn't there? 60 billion or something?
Well,
6 billion, something.
Yes, you got it.
Right.
You hit it. Well done.
That's good work.
Right, so yeah, there's 6 billion, did I say?
Yeah, what's 6 billion then?
Loads, isn't it?
Yeah, but
So if you want a doctor to phone up to assure you that the finger at the bum thing is not painful and that it's necessary, and
Just
that
that
it's
it's
not just someone
necessary,
trying to get
really.
kicked.
Just that it's not an easy way round.
Alright,
You
what's
know
the
what I
phone
mean?
number here?
It's, changed, haven't they?
oh,
You're the
Hang on,
producer!
here it is. 0871 222 1049, and I think you select option 1. It tells you anyway what to do.
please, if you're a GP, or if, even if you've completed medical, I mean, we want a qualified doctor, really. Anything else is not good enough for Karl Pilkington. We'd love to, you can ask him all the other questions, because Karl, as I said last week, he doesn't, feel his own testicles, because he doesn't like the feel.
Yeah.
So, I'd like a doctor to explain to him how necessary that is.
And this is truthful as well, I've got very slight pain around the genital area at the moment, and I think it might be some kind of groin strain, but I'm a little bit anxious, not entirely sure
Yeah,
what it is.
you've been with me twice when I've gone along to get them checked.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
It's terrible. I mean, but, it's usually, I think you're in a pretty low risk, aren't you?
I'd hope so.
You're coming out of the 20s. I think testicular sort of, I shouldn't be doing this, I'm not qualified. All they said was to me sort of like his 20s and 50s.
Mine-
So we're into it.
Mine sort of felt like they dropped a bit the other week when I was on holiday. I don't know if that's like when you're relaxing or I was wearing shorts a lot.
How far? If it's 2 foot, it's too far.
I was having problems walking.
What do you mean? Why?
It was just a bit, I had shorts on all day, I'm happy, I'm walking about on the beach and what have you. And then, at the night, when I put some long trousers on, I was sort of walking like a rickets.
They probably like stretch a little bit. Sometimes, I told you when I was about 18, I was scared. I went to the doctor. I felt a pain, right? And because I was doing biology, I thought I'd show off this doctor. I said, I've got a pain. I think it feels like it starts in the epididymis and goes up through the urethra either. And he went,
Finger up the arse.
he said, your jeans are too tight. They're squashing your balls.